Are you ready for your appointment today?
No.
No? I know, big girl. We'll be done soon. What you doing? What are you doing?
I walked it.
Yeah, we're going in there. Okay, let's go.
1, 2, 3, funk it.
Ella is currently in her first scan of scan week right now. She is having an MRI that's going to look at her pelvis, her abdomen and chest area to see if there's any neuroblastoma, anything has grown, any tumors. Overall, I just, I just have these feelings of nervousness. This is the first scan she's had in a while, and I'm just nervous about it, Having a child with cancer, and specifically neuroblastoma, like I'm always looking for symptoms of something, symptoms of relapse of growth. I'm looking at her head all the time. I'm looking at every little thing and always wondering, like, could this be it? Could this be the cancer? Her eyes been bothering her lately, like she's sensitive to light, specifically in one eye. So, I'm just nervous, but we're gonna get through it. I'm gonna have trust and faith and hope that we're gonna be okay. It's just hard. So thank you guys all for your thoughts and prayers, and just being there with us throughout this process. Man, that girl is strong. She hates scans because she's sedated for every scan because she's young and she can't move for these scans, and so she hates being sedated. She hates the feeling of the loss of control. She knows when we go in the scan room exactly what's going to happen, so she starts throwing just a complete fit and having really big feelings. She hates waking up from sedation. Any toddler, toddlers like having some sort of control, and Ella's definitely that one. So it's hard on her, which means it's hard on me. But we're gonna get through it. We're gonna be okay. Just kind of sharing what we're going through as we're going through it, because I know there's many other parents out there who are experiencing the exact same thing. So we're in this together, here with you as well. When my daughter says she wants brown skin girl, she's gonna get brown skin girl. Ain't that right, Ella? So I'm waiting for, I know I did the double mask thing while I'm here. Ella is in her bone marrow biopsy right now, and that should take about an hour. This will determine if she has any remaining neuroblastoma cells in her bone marrow, like she had when she was first diagnosed. So say a prayer, cross our fingers, and that she'll come out clear. She hated going down per usual, but we have a couple hours before we have to come back here today to get her injection for her MIBG scan tomorrow. So.
Go, Francis. Good job, Bella.
I just want y'all to take a minute and look at that behind me. Children's Hospital, Los Angeles. Isn't that something? So today's Wednesday. It's Ella's last scan day, but this is the big scan. This is called an MIBG scan, and it uses a radioactive isotope to kind of find any neuroblastoma cells from head to toe in her body. I know that it's in God's hands, and I'm having a challenging time trusting him. But he's working with me on that. So, I know tomorrow when we get the news, it's going to be the news that we're supposed to have. And so I'm thankful that we have a great foundation of friends, family, supporters. I'm grateful that Ella's energy and her just spirit is so amazing, which is why we're able to do what we're able to do as parents. We're making it, and that's a large in part because of all the support we had from you all, as well as just the spirit of our girl. And let's not forget our 1-year-old Francis, who makes us smile and laugh every day. So here we are, final day, scan week. We're gonna get through this and hopefully have great news. But just know, I'm happy for this to be the end of this week. This week has been very challenging, but my mom is coming to town to help do things that I would normally do around the house. And so I appreciate her so much for that. And, we're coming off of an exciting week from receiving, a very, very large, significant, important gift from Saya Collective and his team, and all of you supporters who have supported the Ella Strong movement and have bought those t-shirts and shoes. It really has affected us in a good way. So thank you all. Obviously, I'll come on here and give an update after we receive the news. So Ella Strong, peace. As promised, I wanted to provide you all an update with the results of Ella's scan week that she had this past week. As you know, Ella has been battling neuroblastoma for about a year. And after meeting with her doctors yesterday, her oncologist and the radiologist believe that what the scan showed is more likely neuroblastoma cells than not. However, they couldn't 100% conclude that that's what they saw. So what we're going to do is continue with another cycle and then rescan in a couple of weeks. And I'll get into why that may be kind of confusing, at least why it was confusing for us in a minute. Just some backstory. Ella, when she was diagnosed, she had neuroblastoma in obviously her abdomen, her lymph nodes, her femur, also in her bone marrow. After 5 cycles of chemotherapy, all of those spots had cleared. However, she progressed. She had a new spot on her skull, which the goal of neuroblastoma treatment, especially with the stem cell transplants, which she hasn't gotten, obviously for very different reasons. One of that being the removal of one of her kidneys. Is the goal of the treatment is to try to prevent relapse, right? So she relapsed early on, even before we got to stem cell transplant. And we know that with the specific DNA of her neuroblastoma, which is called MYC, it's very aggressive upon relapse normally. Now, when she relapsed in that focal spot, her doctor was like shocked because she hadn't seen it before, and she had responded so well. So immediately when she relapsed, we joined a clinical trial, and she was cleared, and she's been cleared since after cycle 2 of that clinical trial. Here we are 10 cycles later, ready to move on to radiation, and the scans show that we're just not ready yet, potentially. Now, the scan that's used to look for neuroblastoma cells in the entire body is called an MIBG scan. I've said that previously in previous episodes, and that uses a radioactive isotope to kind of find neuroblastoma in the body. It's also used in conjunction with something called a SPECT CT, which takes images kind of from a different angle in the body. Now, after an MIBG scan, you're provided with a Curie score that basically shows how much or how little neuroblastoma that you have in the body. When she had it in her skull, her Curie score was 1 because it was in that one spot. After she was clear, it was 0. The results yesterday still said 0. However, because the SPECT images picked up something that looks like neuroblastoma, and from what I understand, and based off of what her doctor said, is in 2 spots that neuroblastoma likes to go in the bones. Her SPECT score is 2. We asked if this could be a false positive, which she has seen false positive with the SPECT CT portion before, just not in 2 different locations. The bone makes it a little bit more suspicious. She has it in her zygoma, so her kind of like high cheekbone under the eye, and then her left iliac, her pelvic hip bone area. She's obviously showing 0 symptoms. She was running around the backyard like 30 times yesterday. She hasn't expressed any pain, but here's a girl who was diagnosed with not having expressed pain. So, you know, that to me isn't surprising, but they think the reason why that it didn't show on the MIBG and that her Curie score is still 0 as a result of that is because it's so faint and still so light, and probably at the early stages of us catching this, what would be considered her second relapse, which we know in the world of neuroblastoma is not great. However, there have been kids that have relapsed multiple times and have still been fighting and are doing well. I'm actually reading a book right now that's very encouraging. This mother and her daughter have been going through this for 10 plus years and have had multiple, I'm talking about 5+ relapses, and she's a college student right now. So, you know, and she's being treated at CHLA under our same oncologist. So that's encouraging, but, you know, just know, you know, the reason why I'm able to kind of sit before you and talk about this without losing it is because I already did that. You know, something my brother always says is feel what you're feeling, but don't stay in that. And, you know, we're doing everything to keep pushing. Like, we're still in the fight. You know, we're definitely not at the end. And let's just, you know, wait to confirm that this is neuroblastoma, because we couldn't say, and they couldn't say with 100% confidence that that is what it is. So please, continued prayers for our family. Thank you all just for being amazing and really being our rock. Ella is great. She is fine. She is happy. And we're making it. So Ella strong. Peace.